everyone, my name is Mharz, and in today's project, we are going to make a DIY GorillaPod. Basically, it's a tripod with a flexible leg so you can wrap it around objects and you can get weird angles. I found an instructable that I will follow loosely in this video. Links will be in the description down below. Let's not finagle around and get on with this. The instructable said they use a very thick wire, but I can't find it in the stores nearby, so I'm gonna have to improvise. The things that we need in this project are some steel wires. I bought this for cheap in a hardware store. We're also going to need some heat shrinks. I suppose you can use tape, but I like the stretchiness of the heat shrink. The width of this one is 7mm, but I suggest around 5 or 6mm instead. I just bought this variety because it's cheap. We're also going to need a 1/4 inch thick bolt. This is pretty much the standard size for camera's threads. The tools we need are some pliers and wire cutters. Also scissors to cut the heat shrink. First off, let's cut the steel wire at around 1.5 feet. Feel free to change the length as you please. We need 5 wires of this length. If you notice here, the wires aren't really straight, so we had to straighten this so we won't struggle putting it inside the heat shrink. I tried hammering them before, but it doesn't really work well. A good way I found is to wrap one of the wire into a plier, place it on your feet, step on the plier firmly, then wrap the other end of the wire to another plier, and just hold it with your hands. Be careful when you do this, okay? Make sure the other end is nice and secure on the pliers underneath your foot. Now what we're gonna do is pull while twisting the wire. Keep pulling and twisting until you see it straighten out. Use both your hands. Once you've got the wires nice and straight, we can proceed to the next step. We're going to cut the loop we made with the pliers and then insert the wires into the heat shrink like so. Next, we're gonna shrink the heat shrink. You can use a heat gun if you have it, or a candle to heat it up, but please be super careful. Do all the safety precautions needed, and kids, don't try this at home. Ask your parents, okay? I don't really want to use fire in my cramped room, so I'll be using the soldering iron as a heat source. Okay, so I'm just gonna rub the soldering iron until the heat shrink is nice and snug there and the wires won't slide out. Okay, we're finished with one of the legs, so we need 2 more. Alright, we have 3 of our legs and now we need to attach the bolt. Let's bend one of the ends of the wire into a U shape like so. Do this to the other 2 wires. I forgot to add this to the materials earlier, but you need a duct tape and some cable ties as well. Let's press the wire with the U bend near the end of the bolt like this and wrap some bit of duct tape around it. Do the same thing on the other legs, making sure they are spaced out equally from each other. Alright, now let's put more tapes around and under the bolt so it's nice and secure. And to secure it even further, we're gonna wrap some zip ties around. There we go. We're done! How's about we test it, huh? So here it is in action. I wrapped it around my chair to test it. The wires are flexible and at the same time, stiff enough to hold down the weight of the camera. Unfortunately, I don't have a heavier camera to test it. The only downside I'm seeing in this is that you kinda need a bit of a force to bend the wires around the objects. Making the legs a tiny bit longer probably would have helped. Ah well, I kinda don't want the wires to be scraping the objects, so what I'm gonna do is bend a tiny U shape at the end of the wires so it won't scrape anything. And then I will put a tape so the wires won't be exposed to the elements. Here's what it looks like wrapped around my bunk bed. Sorry, the shot is a bit dark. I should get better lighting here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little DIY project. Thank you so much for watching. Smash that subscribe button and I will see you in the next video. Bye!